Hi, welcome to Just Lovin' Designs YouTube channel. Today I'm going to show you a tutorial on how to do Jenny's super stretchy or surprisingly stretchy bind off in 2x2 rib. This is for when you're doing a bind off. You could do it, I usually use it for toe up socks, but you could also use it for sweater, cuffs, or hems, or even collars, depending on which direction you're going. Wherever you're binding off, if you have a 2x2 rib, you can use this. And it makes a nice, stretchy bind off that doesn't flare all that terribly much, I don't believe. This is a finished sock that has been blocked with this bind off, and I will show you how to do it on the next sock. So I am working this in magic loop, so I will work across needle 1 and then needle 2. This bind off is a type of bind off that uses a knitted or in pattern bind off. It just adds yarn overs before you're going to knit or purl your stitches. And so first thing we need to do is I'm going to work across needle 1. And I'm going to do a reverse or a backward yarn over. And so a yarn over normally comes under the needle and over the top. This one's just going to go over the top, kind of from behind and towards you, whereas a normal bind off or a normal yarn over comes under the needle and goes away from you. All right, so you're just wrapping your yarn the other way. So we're going to do a backwards yarn over. And then you're going to knit that first stitch. And then this first one, I'm just going to go in and I'm going to bring that yarn over the top and bind it off, just like you would a regular knitted bind off. Now we're going to do another backwards yarn over, because this is another knit stitch. And then knit the next stitch. And now I'm going to take these 2 stitches, so the previous yarn over with its knit stitch, and go over that one and bind those 2 off. Now we're going to do a purl stitch, but before a purl, you do a regular yarn over, and then you purl. And then we're going to go in to those 2 previous, 1 yarn over, 1 purl or knit stitch, and bring it over and off. All right, another one. So regular yarn over, purl. Bring those 2 stitches up and over and off. And you'll continue in this manner all the way around the sock. Now I'm going to come back to you when I get to the end of needle 1 so you can kind of see how that transition goes. All right, I'll be back in a sec. All right. So now I have these final 2 purl stitches on my first needle, needle 1. So I'm going to do a regular yarn over, purl, take those 2 previous stitches up and over, yarn over, purl, and 2 stitches up and over. So that leaves me with 1 stitch remaining on needle 1. Now to load your stitches on the other needle, first you're going to turn your work. And make sure you don't lose that stitch. I mean, I have it quite a ways off my needle, so I shouldn't lose it. And load the next needle's stitches, so needle 2. And see, we already have a stitch on here, so it's not going to start quite the same way as we did last time, where there was just a yarn over to bring up and over, because we already have that stitch on there. So it starts with a knit stitch, so I'm going to backwards yarn over, knit, 2 stitches up and over, backwards yarn over, knit, 2 stitches up and over. And you can, I just did a regular yarn over, you can take these stitches off one at a time if you really prefer, but I think 2 at a time usually isn't too difficult. It doesn't really matter as long as they both get bound off. All right, so I will meet you back at the end to show you how we finish it up and then how I start to weave in my ends. All right, I'm back and I have my final 4 stitches to do. So I have 2 knits and 2 purls. So I'm going to start with a backwards yarn over and a knit, backwards yarn over and a knit, just a regular yarn over and a purl, and a regular yarn over and a purl. And there you go. We have 1 stitch remaining on the needle. And what I usually do is I'll just cut my yarn now, leaving, you know, 4 to 6 inch tail, however long you like for weaving in your ends. And then I'll just pull that last stitch through. And then how I like to begin weaving in my ends, I'm gonna turn my sock inside out, is so you can see kind of where the yarn is coming out of this last stitch, right through here. And then I'm gonna go and kind of make a stitch through that first V that we made. So I'm gonna come through and go under both legs of that V. Sorry if you can hear dogs barking, I have my windows open. And then I'm gonna come back through this stitch. And I have 2 bars that I'm going up through, 2 holes that I'm going up through. Can you see that? And then it kind of seals it up and mimics another stitch going through there. And then I will just start weaving in my end on the inside of the sock. But you can see how that just seals it up nice and neat up at the top. And then you just weave in your ends and you're all done and you have a finished sock that will look just like this one. I hope that tutorial helped you. If you're doing a 1x1 rib tutorial, I do have, or a 1x1 rib, I do have a tutorial for how to do that with the Jenny's Stretchy bind off as well. So you can find that video linked, or not linked, but in this channel as well. All right, happy knitting.